my channel. When I first started out as a stylist, I had so many questions about certain processes and aspects of the job that I was pretty much left to figure out on my own. It was so hard to find information about important things. I mean, the fashion industry isn't exactly the most welcoming to newbies, especially styling. I mean, I don't know what it is, but when I was an intern and I dared to ask a stylist questions, they would act like I just said the most offensive thing and act so secretive. I mean, I was just out here trying to learn and gain knowledge, so I wasn't trying to step on any toes. So I made sure when I reached a certain level in my career that I was going to reach back out and help the next stylist not have to struggle with the things that I did. So with that said, I'm going to share with you 3 things that I wish I knew about money before I started my styling career. First thing I wish I knew is you don't get paid right away for certain jobs. Now, I came from a 9-to-5 background where we got paid every 2 weeks, and granted, I knew that wasn't going to happen when I pursued freelance styling, but I did not know that it was going to take up to 3 months sometimes to get my check. Yes, girl, 3 months. So I was doing my first paid job. I was super excited, and the stylist I was assisting, she asked me to send her an invoice, which I didn't even know what that was either, and we're going to get into that a little later. So I figured out how to send the invoice, and I was waiting for that check by my mailbox. A month went by, 2 months went by, and at that point I was like, oh my god, like, did I just get played? Like, I really thought she tried me. You know, all these thoughts start running through your head even if your money is 1 day late. So imagine 3 months. I was like, okay, something must be up. What I didn't know then is that there are payment terms in the business world called net 30, net 60, and net 90. Basically, in plain terms, that means that you're gonna wait that amount of days before you receive your check. So eventually I did get my check, but I wish I knew this beforehand so I wouldn't freak out and assume the worst. And I just like knowing when I'm gonna get my money. I mean, simple as that. Thankfully, in my experience, net 30 has been the most common, but that's still a whole month. So as a stylist, you want to make sure you get real good at budgeting because there's going to be times when you're going to have to stretch that dollar until that check comes. Budgeting is a great skill to have as a stylist in general because you're going to be able to keep costs down and you won't have to end up eating ramen noodles every day for the next 2 or 3 months till you get that next check. Next thing I wish I knew about was how to send an invoice. Honestly, I didn't even know what an invoice was. I mean, some of you might have majored in fashion marketing or fashion merchandising. I majored in straight up fashion design. So I was in the fabric stores, I was making clothes, I was sketching designs. I have never taken a business or marketing class in my life. So that's my excuse to not knowing what an invoice is. So when the stylist asked me for that, I quickly got to Googling and I figured it out. It's pretty easy actually. I just Googled how to create an invoice and the first thing that came up was an invoice generator. I typed in the necessary information and I sent it out and it worked, so I just stuck with it. So if you're like me and completely clueless as to what an invoice is, or I don't know, maybe it's just me. Basically, an invoice is a receipt for your services. So you're listing out what you did and how much it's going to cost the client, and you're going to send it to them in order to get paid. This is mostly done in freelance styling, so expect to be doing it a lot. Hopefully, you will be filling out a lot of invoices and getting these checks. So get yourself acquainted with this skill. Last but not least, I wish I knew earlier that I had the choice to negotiate. Actually, if you think about it, everything in life is negotiable. But for now, let's focus on the topic at hand. When you get approached to style clients or shoots, they're either going to approach you with a budget or they're going to ask you for your rate. When I first started out, I always just took the number that they offered me because I thought it was either that or nothing. But I quickly started learning that once you establish yourself, you can command a certain amount depending on different factors like your reputation, the types of brands you can pull, or a handful of other factors like who your clients are or who you've worked with in the past. That can all be used as leverage to justify your rate. I know when I worked with certain people like Drea or Karen Civil or Danny Lay, my stock went up. Versus when I was only styling models, I couldn't charge as much. And I learned the best negotiation tactic from my corporate job experience. When you go on a job interview and they ask you what's your ideal salary, you always want to give them a number a little higher than what you actually want because most likely they're going to try to talk you down. And if you said something a little higher than what you actually want and they talk you down to a number that's still higher than what you would have taken, then you'll end up with a rate that you're happy with. Like our forever First Lady Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. Use that same job interview method for negotiating your freelance jobs. Hope you found today's video helpful, and if you did, please go ahead and give this video a like and make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. And I want to hear from you. What's something that you wish you knew before you went freelance? Go ahead and comment that below.